So in video number one, I will admit I vented a little bit because I was attacked for so long by folks that were pushing short-term rentals. I now want to be a little bit more gracious. I want to admit that, yes, some people got into it, but there are things that you can do to step back and kind of do something else. So we're going to have a conversation with the CEO of Hemlane, Dana Dunford, about what to do if you have a furnished Airbnb and you want to try something else. So Dana, when you think about somebody who does nightlies, that's tired, it's a business, they don't want to do it anymore, they want to make it more passive, how can Hemlane help? And what is one thing they could certainly think about doing?
The first thing I would do is start to think about midterm. It doesn't work for everyone, just so you know. So there's certain markets where you can't do it, but there are markets where there are traveling nurses. They need to stay there 3 to 6 months. And you could try midterm because then you can still keep it furnished, but it's not the nightly turnover or, 3 nights someone's staying on the weekend turnover. It's a little bit more consistent. So that's kind of the first stepping stone and building block to getting to something more passive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one that I think of that, again, basically, if you have a house and it's furnished, you need to think about who might consume that, right? Traveling nurses is a great idea. The other one that I would tell you to reach out to is insurance companies, right? Insurance companies who are paying out claims to somebody who's had a house burned down or flood or something where they need to stay short term. You're fishing in a pretty small pond, but there
Yeah.
are fish in there that you can go after if your intention is to keep the house, keep it furnished, and move forward. But there's some stuff there, but you need to work for it for sure.
Yep. And the one concern there that I personally have is that vacancy. It's such a small pond that
Yeah.
it's really hard to line up. Hey, these folks now can move back to their home after it's renovated, rebuilt. Now they can move back, but you have no idea with these insurance providers when the next tenant is going to want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah,
So there is that vacancy risk
for sure.
with those with furnished, and we just find with furnished it's such a small market.
Yeah.
The second thing I would encourage, or maybe third, because we spoke about traveling nurses and then insurance, is if you're wondering what you could get for it long term, you can actually list your property as a long-term 12-month rental, but with the furniture in it.
Yeah, you
And
could.
and when you do that and you list it with the furniture in it, you can essentially say you would have to put this in the photos because no one reads the description. And once you show pictures of it with the furniture, you can say this rental comes furnished or unfurnished.
There you go.
Might want a little bit more if it comes furnished.
Yes.
But then you can actually look at the market and you can say, great, I've got, 10 tenants who are interested in this property. They're all qualified. Okay, all 10 out of 10 don't want the furniture. Great, I know how much I'm getting. I can compare that against what I used to get for short term.
Mhm.
Maybe I do want to move forward with them. Or you can, maybe you get lucky and one of them wants the furniture and you can kind of keep it in there, but have much more passive long term. And so folks who are unwilling to kind of give up that furniture, it's going to be such a pain. Now I have to put it into storage, something like that. You may want to test long term that way.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, don't just say it's furnished, because what happens is your pool gets much smaller. Folks get emotionally attached to, well, I have furniture, so
Mhm.
why would I want your furniture too? And now I need to figure out something to do with it. So give that option and A/B test it, because then the whole market will come to you,
I love
and then
that.
you can kind of figure out which way to go.
Yeah, again, I sort of envisioned someone who bought just a median home, entry level home. They spent the extra 25 grand furnishing it. Now they're negative cash flow with dailies. They could try weeklies or monthlies. I think that's step one. They could try yearlies. I love that, furnished or unfurnished. Um, but at some point, you're going to probably have to make a choice. Is the delta enough where you can limp along? Do you see your area coming back? Did you not know about seasons, on and off seasons? At the end of the day, it should be about the numbers. And when I say the numbers, like Dana said, it's not total revenue, it's net income. or
Mhm.
cash flow. A lot of operators are focused on the wrong number because again, all of these expenses, the cleaners, the services, all of those things, it's funny how often people don't talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think, this is where right now is the time to test this stuff. The market is changing. Purchasing new rentals it's not impossible, but you have to do more work,
absolutely.
especially with interest rates where they are. So now is the time to start testing what can I do with the portfolio that I have.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, let's be clear, one of the right answers might be sell the property. It just might be. You might lose some money. You have a tax write-off. If that's the worst outcome, at least you can understand that. Dana, if somebody wanted to try Hemlane and see what it looks like versus all the Airbnb or short-term rental apps, how would they do that?
Yeah, you could go to www.hemlane, which is HEMLANE.com. What you're going to want to try it for is the advertising. We'll advertise it out to 30 rental listing websites. You get a free trial on that. And just mention one rental at a time because you do get 20% off your first year if you decide to move forward with it, which we hope
And
you
you
do.
also and you also have a resource tab where somebody could go and say, I wonder what my rental might go for. Is that true?
Yes, right at the top, it's called resources, and then you can go to the rent estimate there.
Awesome, Dana. Thank you so much. Have an amazing week. Take care.
Thanks, you too, Michael.